Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Nostalgic and welcome to Kooky Questions, the show where we ask the internet the most pressing questions of gaming and we feature your answers right here. Joining me today, as usual, the co-creator of Kooky Questions, Sam or RareWarington over on Twitter. How you doing there today?
Doing great. Looking forward to this long discussed discussion, actually, Drew. It should be fun today.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we also do have a Super Josh XD with us as well. He does have a YouTube and Twitter account as well, which we'll be linking everyone's stuff here. How you doing there today, Josh?
I'm doing fantastic, Drew. Thanks for asking.
Good. And we also have Aiden, also goes by AS. I forgot, what do you go by in Twitter there, Aiden? I forgot.
I don't. It's just a bunch of numbers. 112 something. I don't. Yeah, Mushroom on YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. We're going to have a great time just talking about this. Well, I think it was kind of mostly regarded as like a pretty good Nintendo Direct. Honestly, I think it was a really great one there. So we posted some questions. Sam posted out some questions there as far as what your personal highlights from both the June Direct and some other presentations that happened there. And I'm going to kind of go ahead and lead with my thoughts, and we'll kind of get briefly everyone else's here. But to kind of summarize what I thought, just, outside Nintendo, I thought that in the PlayStation Live, Astrobot looked really good. Yuku or Blades does seem like a really great idea the more and more I think about it. The Direct gave us DK fans, a little tidbit that tied us over with like the returns. Then we had other great announcements like Mario and Luigi, Zelda, Prime 4. It was just announcement after announcement as far as like really big, like awesome stuff. Sam, why don't you kind of give your general thoughts on that next there?
Just to actually touch on your answer too, like Astrobot, as far as like the PlayStation Showcase went, I used to be, but I'm not really a huge PlayStation gamer these days, although I liked what Monster Hunter Wilds looked like it offered. That was revealed there at that showcase. But yeah, Astrobot looked quite good. It's sort of like PS5 the game, like product placement land, but
yeah.
It looks fantastic as a platformer, really.
It really does. I kind of thought like it definitely gave me a lot of Odyssey kind of vibes, and in a good way. Just like a much more powerful hardware. And the thing is that I look at graphics, how they seem like we're just using more power to push more realism in graphics, when it feels like with this one, we're using greater power to create a more fun platformer. It's like they're actually using that beef to create a better experience, and that's what really stands out to me from the Astrobot there.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, seeing any of these kind of competing with Nintendo as far as these next gen like 3D platformers go, like your Psychonauts 2 and your Ratchet and Clanks and what have you. But yeah, it's refreshing to see that stuff. And as far as my answer on June, I thought I actually had a reference that I tweeted somewhere, but I think for me it's mostly just kind of the ones I listed above. Like Nintendo had a super great lineup. It's kind of shocking here at the end of the life, or what seems to be the end of the life inevitably for the Switch. I don't think many of us expected like this many, for lack of a better word, bangers or like big titles, new titles to come out at the end of this hardware's life. Like Metroid Prime 4, the new Zelda. I mean, we all kind of knew Metroid Prime 4 was coming, but to see it in this Direct alongside a new 2D Zelda, no less, was pretty incredible. And a new Mario and Luigi, super happy for those fans. Like, it's pretty incredible to see all that, man. Like, really thought it was pretty good.
It really is great. So, because like you all like posted response to this, I kind of want to get kind of your thoughts. And Josh, I see you posted just yes, which I think is honestly a very appropriate response to this. Okay, you want to extrapolate on that?
I love video games. What else can I say? I really liked what I saw. There were a lot of great announcements from that Nintendo Direct. I was just blown right off the gate with Mario and Luigi. I was also amazed when they were bringing back Returns in HD, the new Mario Party, announcing Metroid Prime 4 with the gameplay and all that, and some of the third-party stuff did kind of look cool, except for Funko Pops.
That just kind of looks like garbage.
Yeah.
I never liked them. They just look ugly.
Yeah, I'm not sure about
you'll
that
never
game.
see me in a mile radius of one. But yeah, like I think it was a very, very good showcase. I mean, like I did enjoy the Xbox showcase, but when it comes to Nintendo and I think the one thing that made it great was the Japanese stuff. Okay, because games made in Japan, it's like a gold mine, and they kind of just brought that in there, and it's really like piqued my interest. I'm not even sure if I have the right words. Sorry, but yeah, like it's just wonderful seeing all these games come together and all that. Like especially like Dragon Quest 3 and the first and second game being announced too. Like just seeing all these games that I don't really see a lot of in like the other showcases. It kind of really speaks volumes of what makes Japanese games very enjoyable.
All right. That's awesome. Yeah, and we'll get to all the other responses here as well, but before we get on to the other ones, we'll go on to Aiden's here. You mentioned looking forward to a lot of games. Yoko Replay could be lots of fun. New Perfect Dark looks cool. It's nice to see DKC returns on Switch, and new Mario and Luigi game looks amazing. There's and Metroid Prime 4. There's a lot, and like that excitement. GIF really kind of summarizes it all, I would say.
Yeah, no, it was a very solid direct overall. Like probably one of the better ones I've seen in a while. Like you were saying before, with Astrobot looks interesting. Sony doesn't have a lot of 3D platformers, so I think that's going to be good. I really like the demo. The pack-in, the original Astro, whatever, I forget what it was called, but
Astro Play.
That was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, like you said, I mean, Mario and Luigi, I didn't think that was going to come back in a million years. We got RPG, we got Thousand Year Door. I was like, all right, that's enough. Like that's like perfect. Like I didn't think they would even do RPG. Like it's crazy. And now we have Mario and Luigi, so it's like, yeah, that was insane. DKC, of course, I wanted to have returns on Switch for quite a while. That way, we now have all the DKC games on Switch, so that's going to be awesome. Metroid Prime. Great to finally see that. I was thinking it was going to be like a title for Switch too, but I think it might be cross-play type thing where it's going to be on both systems. It's looking like, I don't know.
That's really a question that I'm really wondering about because they confirmed the 2025 release, and that's around at least by that point we'll have an idea of what the Switch 2 is. So I really am just wondering if they're going to do a cross-gen thing with this. I mean, it definitely is possible. So, it might be a way that they showcase, the free, potentially free updates for Switch games, to make them play better on the Switch 2. That could also be what they do. Just to showcase how you can do cross-gen improvements of games, which would be awesome, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Other highlights were the Xbox presentation was all right. I mean, we had Perfect Dark. That was really cool to see because that was rumored for a while, and everybody thought maybe it was going to be in development hell or whatever. But so that was really cool. And then you can replay. I can't even say that name. You can replay, as you mentioned. Also looks very interesting. Zelda was cool. Just overall, just a lot of good stuff to look forward to. So yeah, I'm excited.
I was initially, when I first saw Yoku Replay, I was a little puzzled at first, and I think I'm not the only one who had that reaction. There was just what? They've it's been almost 5 years, and this is what they have to show to us. And I think it was nice, that they came up with those clarifications afterwards. Hey, we're working on multiple projects. This is a foundational project, so that definitely made me feel about that. But then that made me also think, maybe could have teased that in the initial reveal, because that's almost what I expected. When Yuka and Laylee were talking at the end there, they were making fun of the name Yuka Replay, and I was just like, wait, is this maybe a joke thing or something? Are you going to give a tease for something else you're working on? But then it just kind of ended, and I was just like, what's going on?
I feel like they probably should have done something like that, at least mentioned a sequel, because we all know I feel like they've teased it in the past and stuff. Like we know there's a sequel, coming at some point, but it would have been nice to at least have that, concrete confirmation during that. But
Yeah,
no,
I've been
I'm
I've been a
interested
huge
to
advocate
see how that
on the
turns out.
fact that, like, obviously Platonic, we know a lot of the pedigree behind that studio, and a lot of the old timers, for lack of a better word, and even some of the like just medium and new timers that are like really talented developers. But there's some points that I sort of just hope that their marketing team is doing really good. I like Steve, the new social media guy, and I don't remember the name of the person who's in charge of marketing. However, I just feel like I'm looking forward, and I feel mostly positive about this Yuka replay lead, but I do feel like that trailer could have been handled a little bit better, to be honest. Like, just like Drew said, as far as like just revealing, like, hey, we're still working on some stuff. We can't show you that right now, but to hold you guys over, here's Yuka replay lead or something.
Yeah, I think that would
I
that
feel
would
like
be
they
perfect.
weren't very transparent. Like, I mean, like when you looked at like the Yacht Club Direct, they were very transparent. Like, hey, we're bringing back Shovel Knight, okay, for a more definitive release, okay, for to stand the test of time. But also, we're making a new game. We just can't share any information, and that's what perfect right there. Perfect.
Yeah, that
Which they kind of did do that, but it was like through social media afterwards. They kind of
Yes.
said that, but it was like,
yeah,
So it was
exactly.
like a soft confirmation in a way.
Well,
Yeah,
first
and
questions are everything. So like,
Exactly.
like what people see in video form is what we see, and if we don't have any other information, then they got to hunt for it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
looking forward to it either way. But
Same.
Yeah, I'm playing through that right now. I've been playing mostly like a lot of indies. Like I tried out like a short hike, and I tried out like the little gator game, and I've been recently playing through I played through Celeste, and I've been playing through ukulele again. But having like 100% ukulele like 4 or 5 times, like
crazy.
playing it again after a few years, there are definitely some parts that even just replaying now I realize can be ironed out. Like namely like challenges, like say like your Rextro challenges.
Yeah.
First example.
I think the whole Capital Casino level could use a reworking. Like, I would say like that. A few things in that could have been implemented a bit better.
Yeah.
I've replayed that like probably three or 4 times by now on Switch, on PS5, like on all the consoles, and it definitely has some flaws. So I'm interested to see, because I know they said they're adding the map, a couple other quality of life improvements, but yeah. So as someone who's played that game many times, I'm interested to see what they do. So.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right, so then for the rest of this here, we're kind of go in a circle, go over other people's responses. So we'll just start with Rare Foxane, and Josh, it's your turn to go with that here, if you got that pulled up there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you done everything you wanted to say there?
Yeah, I think we got everything we have set up to this point, about at least as far as our general takes.
Yeah.
If everyone.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. This is like one of my first times doing like group chat things. I'm just.
Oh, you're good. If you want me to read that question, I can read the next question if you don't see Rare Foxane's question there.
All right, sorry. But yeah, thank you. Ukulele, right?
Ukulele, yeah.
Yeah.
But I can go
like,
ahead.
I'm hoping that like they kind of fix up a lot of the Rextro stuff, or at the very least make it optional. Because like if there's one thing that I think that still carried over from old Rare is mini games and or side modes that don't really quite fit in, or are a little unfun at times. Kind of like say like the slot wheel from Donkey Kong 64, or like that
Beaver Bother.
Beaver Bother.
Yeah.
Oh God. Trauma.
Yeah.
Um,
They made sure it lived up to its name. They wanted the player to be bothered.
It was more than a bother. It was a hassle. I mean, I was like, yeah, it was bad. I don't know.
Well, apparently it's all because of some coding where like the crocs are supposed to fall into the hole, but because the hole is has a lot of edges on it, okay, then the beavers get stuck on those little edges of the hole, and will go in. They have to go across the line of the hole.
Yeah, there's a very weird, specific way you have to get them in. They don't like go in directly. They like go in like sideways-ish. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, but anyway, like my point is like I'm hoping like they tweak up some of those like unfun but also kind of unnecessary mini games in Ukulele. Like try to make them better or try to put them to the side. Like make the retro stuff optional, okay, or something like that. Maybe, and I don't know if they'll do that for like say those new Ivory Tower coins or whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like like I'm kind of curious about that too. I'm thinking it maybe just be for Vendy only. But I do also hope that we finally get that answer that's been bugging me since the Toy Box demo. What does that inept robot say in Galleon Galaxy? What's
the inept robot
being built up to here?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He's like 99.99999% loaded. He went slowly up as the game released and never really amounted to anything. That's true.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like you can't build up you can't just tease something and then have nothing to show, especially if you ain't gonna update the game anymore. It might be like say like plans for like the sequel to the game or something, which I think it would be a little silly to do. Yeah, especially how early that game came out. But
unless it was like a stop and swap equivalent,
maybe.
Yeah.
But my running theory was always like, because in the Kickstarter's original like roadmap, they were going to release a DLC that was free to all backers, but they ended up not going that route for like time and finances and all that, starting a company, doing a Kickstarter, building a game, all that.
Becoming a publisher and like all that other stuff that they've been doing.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like maybe there's a chance that, and I don't know if it has to be bound to Inept, but like some new content or something to do with Inept, something like that. But I feel like this replayly will justify itself the more information we learn about it. I'm fingers crossed, at least.
I'm looking forward to just the new music alone. I mean, just because they confirmed that they're going to do reorchestrated music, because that was actually one of the stretch goals of the original game, and that wasn't something they never quite got to doing. So this is like But this is the chance for them to do that. I'm looking forward to hearing stuff like Glitter Glacier. Is going to sound amazing.
That's my favorite one. For sure, yeah.
Like one thing I was confused by, because Grant Kirkhope got a lot of flack for this, because I thought when that stretch goal was reached, like Grant Kirkhope said that he was using orchestrated sounds in a program he uses for the game, and I thought that was it, but that apparently wasn't it. So
they for the backers back then, they had an email that went out. I don't know how early on before release, but just prior to release, not too long, and they were saying like, it wasn't going to be something they were able to achieve. So it is cool about hearing that they actually will be able to have a whole orchestra record the music, and hopefully they still have access to the originals for the people who still want to play alongside that.
Oh yeah, that seems to be a standard for like remakes or remasters nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, like a Thousand Year Door with that badge they added, changes it back to the original soundtrack.
Yeah.
I think they'll have something like that.
Very well could.
Yeah.
All right. So
Drew, do you want me to read some of the answers? Like maybe start with that Rare Fox Sane.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So Rare Fox Sane put on Twitter, okay, a lot of things happened. Perfect Dark on Switch, NSO, Ukulele, the Zelda game, Metroid Prime 4. All of this is amazing, but Mario and Luigi, guys, I'm so happy. This is probably my favorite non-Rareware game. I thought they won't come back, but they did. And that's awesome.
And I do have to say, Rare Fox saying, like, she is definitely, like, it's understandable. If you've looked at her content on her channel, you definitely would understand why she's so excited about this, because the main character on her web series is Alpha Dream, because like her show is about like game companies that have died off, and Alpha Dream is the main character of that show. So it's like, that's kind of really cool that, like, in a sense, what Alpha Dream created lives on and is coming back. So that's just really, really cool.
But I've seen things too where like the company who is making the remake, or not remake, it's a new game, not a remake. I'm used to saying remake for all these for all these games lately. The company that's making them is like, there are some like former people that worked at Alpha Dream, like working on the new game. Yeah, so it's still some of the same people, which is nice.
That's right. They revealed that there was like quite a few of them still doing this, which is super cool.
I think people found out that there are like 10 of those people that work for a specific company. The one that they're speculating is the actual developer. So that seems that's why they think that's the most likely one. I forgot the name of the company though.
Ilka.
Ilka. Okay.
LC, yeah.
And
they made the Diamond and Pearl remakes, but like apparently that was like rushed, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Pokemon Company rushed that out. So it was supposed to be like on par with like the other remake, like a big, full open world type thing. I don't know, but yeah. So I think it's not their fault, but
I also blame Game Freak to a point, because it seems like Game Freak is no stranger to crunch on its developers, especially time crunch.
Yeah,
so for sure.
Yeah, it definitely lines up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, it just seems like with Pokemon games, they could definitely come up with a lot of games, but maybe they could take a little bit more time on those games.
Which I think they're starting to do that now, because we haven't gotten like as much like Pokemon news recently, I guess. Like,
right.
I don't know. They announced that one that's like Legends Arceus, but it's Gen 5 called. They announced that, but like, I think they're starting to.
I think they're like in a cooldown period because they just released. I think it was either last year or the year before their latest Pokemon generation game, Scarlet and Violet. And since that's already out, now they can kind of cool down and work on something else without having to worry about a deadline too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
All right, then I'm going to go ahead and highlight a few other responses here. Chris Botker mentioned the new Zelda and Prime 4 are definitely highlights. Chris Cross mentions the new Mario and Luigi. Lots of people happy about that. Everything else was just over to him. But yeah, I mean, it's still some other great responses. We haven't really talked much about Prime 4 or Zelda yet here. I mean, like Prime 4, it's just like, whoa, it's here. It's not imaginary anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of surreal to like actually see footage of it. I mean, it's been 7 years now since it was like first announced. So yeah, it's been a long time coming. It looks great.
Because it was really mentioned. It was mentioned in like, was it the first Nintendo Switch Direct after the announcement of the console? Yeah, that's right.
It was 2017. Yeah, it was 2017 or something. I don't. Yeah.
And then it was, I think it was 2019 that they announced, like, I believe it was 19, that they were like, hey, we got to
restart this.
Yeah.
I'm
interested. I want to see what that would have looked like the original version of it. Like, I don't know.
Apparently it was bad.
I guess, but how bad could it be for it to be, I don't know,
axed and restarted? Man, I can't imagine like how much you have to mess up that you announce that you announce a game is in development, and then you have to say, okay, they can't work on it anymore.
Another spiritual successor.
Listen, I'll defend the gameplay in that game. The story, it's a little all over the place, but the gameplay is fun.
I think it's it didn't really know what it wanted to be. Like, it seemed like it wanted to appeal to every crowd that it could, instead of just focusing on like your side scroll or your.
I liked how it was like, it had like elements of Prime where you'd go like into first person with the Wii remote, but then you also had like, it was like a mix between a 2D and a 3D Metroid. I thought it was kind of cool.
Oh, we were talking about Other M.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I did like the gameplay, but yeah, I think most people's criticisms are mainly have to do with the story and portrayal of Samus. I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
My opinions on that game are kind of all over the place because I'm not really a big fan of the gameplay nor the story as well. But
I did
And I
like
gotta
it.
say,
I thought the story
go ahead.
aspect of Ridley, evolving like an alien plot line, that was pretty cool because like that was surprising.
Yeah, there
Like
are
when you
cool
realize
things,
that was actually really well done.
Yeah,
I mean, the opening cutscene looks like a movie. Like it's crazy. The CGI cutscenes in that game, like I don't know, like not the in-game one, but like the first one. You know what I mean? Like the opening scene
yeah.
where it's like pre-rendered and stuff. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, when it replayed the final like Super Metroid battle, yeah, that was sweet.
That still holds up. That's like
I think that's another thing that goes against kind of like sort of what Metroid's established, because like they may have your brief intros, but it's always sort of like arrive on the planet or like figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Like you have to use the storytelling elements in the environment rather than just like here's what happened. But I will say like all we know in like the canon is like Ridley has a history with Samus, so it was cool to see them at least attempt like kind of an origin story for Samus revolved around her parents and Ridley and what have you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a mixed game, but I still like it. I don't know.
Yeah, there are good aspects of it.
And I do just want to say, because like I swear, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I was looking. I did answer my own question just to have a reference later, and I'm like driving myself crazy. I'm like, where is it? Elon Musk, what have you done? But I gotta say, it's done it. I may have some gripes, as some people further than I noticed have mentioned on Twitter with the new Donkey Kong Country HD, Donkey Kong Country Returns. But I'm super excited for that as well. And I do want to say, I don't know how much you guys were into like the Xbox Direct, but for me and some other people, like I mean, even as us Nintendo-centric gamers go, like they had some really cool announcements there. Like Josh said, like the new Perfect Dark for one.
I need to play that.
Yeah.
I need to get in, try out the multiplayer, try out the campaign. Like never played it before. Looks good.
Me neither.
Oh, you haven't played Perfect Dark?
Nope, never played it before.
Me neither.
Oh, really?
That'd definitely be something. But
it's on Switch Online now.
Yeah,
that's true.
There you go.
I will drop a brief idea, like these discussion things. Me and Drew talked about one time doing something called Kooky Quest and have it be like a side thing in case we meet at a con, or if I kind of always theorized the idea of like maybe we could play a game and then all come to discuss an experience, or if we've already played it, just join the discussion with that. I'll keep it brief on that, just something I've been thinking about.
Okay.
But
That sounds interesting.
But yeah, also with the Xbox Showcase, the new Doom, Doom: The Dark Ages. I don't know if you guys are in Doom at all, but oh my word, dude, that looks so sick. I am way amped for that game.
Especially
The only Doom I played was Doom 64. Like, and I didn't play it that long because I got lost.
It's the easiest to get lost in any Doom. In fact, I haven't ever beaten Doom 64. But it's funny because a lot of people think it's a port, but it's really its own exclusive Doom to the N64. Like it's its own game. Which is pretty darn cool.
Yeah,
I never beat a Doom game, so I
never played it. Just never have. And let's see. I just trying to think. Oh yeah, it was kind of funny, when the people were talking about Doom Slayer as a possible Smash candidate. That's a possible. There's still a possibility maybe in the future for that to happen.
I would say they were listening. They happened to do a Mii costume eventually as well.
Mm-hmm, they did.
Oh yeah.
I did want to go ahead and mention another comment here because we were just talking about Donkey Kong on the Switch. Pretty cool Crocodile mention, Mario and Luigi's Grand Return, Mario Party. I'd say Donkey Kong Returns HD just because it was the best outcome for Switch 1, while the second one would definitely have us feasting. I don't know what exactly they mean by the second one, but maybe like an actual new Donkey Kong game would be amazing. But like Donkey Kong Returns HD, my expectations heading into the Direct was just Donkey Kong something, and I got Donkey Kong something. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting a new game because I think the new game's going to be on the next console. I don't think they're going to put a new game at the end of the lifespan. I don't know. I feel like that's like a thing that they would put in like maybe the middle of like the first year of the new console or something.
I'm hoping
I was expecting like a port, or like I was expecting maybe like DK64 on Switch Online, Returns. Like I wasn't expecting anything big. But,
yeah. And make no mistake, this is a game that really needed to happen because, for one thing, we do need all the Donkey Kong Country games on the Switch, and we needed a good, nice HD version without Waggle, which has previously only been over on the Nvidia over in China there. So like it's nice for us to get it on the Switch finally.
That's true. Isn't it a Nvidia port like a direct Wii port? Obviously, they'd be doing some upscaling, but does anyone know?
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah. I think it's like literally just like they didn't do anything with the textures or anything. I'm pretty sure it's just
Upscale.
That's awesome,
just
though.
upscaled. Yeah,
It's funny too because Drew and I were discussing briefly in like the past couple Kooky Questions episodes prior to the direct. We were like, oh, a lot of people mentioning Donkey Country or returns, or it'd be really cool to get a returns port prior to the park. So I was just stoked that it came to fruition.
And they're timing the release pretty much right before the park opens. So that
I was gonna say, that's why it's January of 2025 because they're trying to like time it right, so with the marketing and all that. So
I think we do need to discuss. There's a rumor going around that Nintendo denied King K. Rool for the park, and it's apparently based on some random like Reddit post. But it was something that was going around.
Sounds like it's less.
I don't know.
It came from someone, I guess, with the Universal like theme park, like one of the engineers or something like that. I actually don't know who specifically it was, but it sounds like when the concept art had like your little tiny references to the original 3 trilogy and also had like Ellie the elephant. I think it was more so a thing like people strung it into their own narrative of they denied King K. Rool, but I think more what it was Nintendo was like, hey, let's focus on returns right now. At least that's what my understanding is.
That's always kind of been like their branding with DK ever since Returns came out. Like they kind of just lean into that era, the retro style games. But like games from retro, so that's kind of what they base all their stuff off of.
And I'm glad they're doing this, but it's like lean into it more, Nintendo.
I know. Go back to the original trilogy. I don't know.
Something.
I want some families.
Yeah, we definitely did need as much classic stuff to come back as possible there. Even a just Nintendo mention here, like having every Donkey Kong Country on the Switch is huge. Gotta go. And so his favorite personal one was the HD announcement there. And I think it's good that we're at least getting that on the Switch. One other topic here that none of us have mentioned here. Robert here, or little Mac on Twitter here, mentioned the Dragon Quest III remake, and I haven't played any Dragon's Quest, but I thought that looked pretty cool.
And I love that HD like 2D style, like that Octopath Traveler started doing. I'm a big fan of that, like the sprites and the backgrounds. I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, having those like SNES looking sprites, but now in a more HD tone environment, like it's beautiful to the eye.
And I'm just thinking about that, this being announced and shown like right after the passing of, and I can never remember his name.
The creator and artist of like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Quest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
there's Toriyama.
Yes,
no, that's somebody else.
Toriyama.
Is that right?
Toriyama.
Okay, I had it right. Okay. Yeah.
But so he designed those characters, so it's kind of interesting seeing that happen afterwards. So
yeah, it is, and I wondered if the timing had anything to do with it. But I mean, to be fair, like I've said before, that at Direct, maybe it didn't have like. I mean, a lot of people discussed this. Like Kevin voted in our upcoming question, but he didn't want to totally be called out. That's Kevin McMillan. I'm going to call him out anyway. Kevin McMillan on Twitter, if you guys want to follow him.
No.
He wasn't, like he said, it's like there's some interesting announcements. He's happy for other people, but like not so much for him. And like I will say, there's a lot of variety in that Direct. Like I was really happy for other fan bases that may not correlate with my interest. Like even your RPG people, your Dragon Quest, a lot of like Square Enix content surprisingly coming as well to the Switch, which a lot of people weren't sure Square was going to continue on that. And like Mario and Luigi, just happy for a lot of fans that seem to be getting like a lot of like fan service at the end of this hardware's life, man.
Seriously, it's been a golden era renaissance for fans of Mario RPGs in general. I mean, it's like it's like we got everything back.
Yeah, like I'm just interested to see what they do from here, like with especially with Paper Mario. Like I'm hoping they take the feedback from everybody and like the sales from Thousand Year Door, and they kind of lean into that direction of like the classic style. But Yeah, we'll have to
I'm
see.
really hoping so too. Mind you, I mean, I still really like Origami King, but like still nothing like beats just that classic style of like the first two games, especially. I mean, that's just like that was something that worked really well, and then Nintendo decided that they were just going to try different things for some reason. But I'm glad to see
like, and people are like, people playing Thousand Year Door, like, and even like now that I replayed it, it is like the worlds are kind of you kind of just go left to right. I've noticed kind of very, very like a hallway based, and like Origami King had like those big open areas. I think if they combined those areas from Origami King with the traditional gameplay, it would be perfect.
Oh, the adventure element of Origami King.
And I don't know much about those games, but I've heard the combat got altered quite a bit. Like Color Splash, Sticker, is it Sticker Star?
Yeah.
And then Origami King, but also the character variants got very much lessened, it seemed.
Yeah, no partners. They kind of brought him back in Origami King, but it wasn't like exactly partners. You know, they were kind of companions, but they were, I don't know. So
they join
like
you for a while.
Teasing us with stuff, but they're not going away with. So it's kind of like,
the battle system, like it was kind of taking a different route, like still having that RPG element of taking turns and selecting moves, but like now you have
and then they got rid of like XP though. With like Color Splash, then there's no point. Like,
there wasn't. I think everything else about Origami, most everything about Origami King was actually really good, except the battle system.
And same thing with Color Splash. I love that game. Like the writing is like that's like the funniest writing in the series. I think Color Splash.
I think it's one of the series' strong suits is the writing for sure.
Yeah, the writing and like the gameplay has been solid. It's the battle system. They gotta get back to that. But yeah.
I enjoyed like Origami King when I wasn't on that wheel doing the battles, because everything else about that game was pretty stellar. And
I agree.
Splash, even though I did not have EXP, it did have those little hammers that you can collect to increase your paint hammer. And I felt like that was at least an incentive to battle.
Yeah, it was something.
But I do want like to see Modern and Paper Mario be more fleshed out though. But maybe since after Thousand Year Door remake, maybe a new one where it takes elements of both the modern and the classic into one whole game. I would love to see that.
Yeah, like the thing that they were saying, we didn't want to keep doing the same thing over and over. Like you don't. You can do like look at how Mario has adapted the gameplay in that game. You know, Mario Wonder still the same gameplay as, you know, Super Mario Brothers, but they adapt and they add like new mechanics and things. Like you can still have that while still keeping the core of what makes the old games fun. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Hey, Sam, did you want to go ahead and go over that one? Go ahead and read a response here. It's by Charles Lamov, and we'll kind of go over that one.
So Charles Lamov, who, by the way, I'll call out, is a massive Platonic fan, which is going to be in his mention here. But he said from the Nintendo Direct, which is one I actually wanted to mention, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, which sounds like a lot of people are really happy about. Definitely one that I don't understand the rights situation, but like I have buddies that are into fighters that are saying like this is one of those impossibilities that a lot of people were like, man, that sure would be nice. Mostly Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I think it is, but like they're saying, oh man, that would be nice, but it's not going to happen. So apparently that's really cool. And a couple other of his answers. Astrobot, like we said, Perfect Dark, looks great. Winter Burrow, which I think is like an indie-ish game. I think it was the one about that mouse, sort of a survival game. And Claire Obscure Expedition 33. A lot of people are excited about this, like Moist Critical on YouTube, and a lot of people are excited about this. I don't really know much about Expedition 33, this game here, but a lot of people are excited for that. And then, of course, his last part of his answer, Yuka Replayley, which, of course, he's a big Platonic fan, so that makes sense.
I haven't seen a ton of the Perfect Dark, but it looks like a very dynamic FPS where you're doing a lot of action, mixing in some jumping, parkour, that kind of stuff. Looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested, and it's kind of cool. Like, it's like if you look at like what was trending after those, like it seems mostly positive. Like these Xbox gamers and modern folks, for the most part, those camps, and some Perfect Dark fans seem really stoked. of course, there's another camp where it's like, this is too different. This looks too much like Mirror's Edge, et cetera, et cetera. But as Kevin Bayless said, Kevin Bayless did a little concept art, and I believe either he did a version of like the title screen or the box art for Perfect Dark Zero. But Kevin Bayless on Twitter was saying like he doesn't get why some people just want the same old thing. He said he really thinks like the combat looks cool and that it looks like a really fresh take on Joanna Dark's adventures and stuff. So sounds like it's a soft reboot, so definitely looking forward to seeing what they do with it. I think it looks pretty cool.
I did want to mention something about Kevin Bayless, just in regards to Yooka Replay. I don't know how many people know this, but like I messaged him and congratulated him on that because we follow each other, and he mentioned that he did the animation for the new Platonic logo. And that was like, that's what those teases he was doing about doing particle effects and things like that. That's what that was all about.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know he's part of Platonic. Yeah.
Yeah. He also did I don't remember the name of the game. It's like it's like one of the recent Platonic and Friends games where it's like the raccoon. It's like a very capitalistic propaganda based like business thing. He did this little raccoon symbol for them. And I have a theory that as we're talking about Platonic, as of today, Platonic and Friends actually announced another game that they're publishing, and it's called Cattle Country. Yes.
What is that game?
Oh, is that what that was? I kept seeing that. I didn't know that was Platonic. I kept seeing this.
Yeah, and it looks like your Harvest Moon sort of concept, and they actually, if you watch the trailer, they actually have I think his name's Roger Clark, I think, or something like that, but they have the voice actor for Arthur Morgan in Redemption 2.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I watched it immediately. I'm like, oh my word, like how did they get this guy to do this? It's awesome. But yeah, it looks like kind of like a Harvest Moon sort of thing, and my girlfriend's definitely interested in, so we'll probably give it a go for sure. Yeah, I think Kevin Bayless, I have a theory that Kevin Bayless, that cow and that little like title screen thing, I have a feeling that that's a Kevin Bayless drawing, but
it looks like his style. It does.
It does look, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it looks kind of like I don't know, you can see kind of like the Battletoads.
Yeah.
Eye, like the brow. I don't know.
Yeah.
That he always adds. So it could be.
Yeah, I've seen all his art on Twitter, and the moment I saw that, I'm like, yep, that's his work right there for Cattle Country.
Yeah, it looks good.
Looks great. I just thinking again about the drawing that he did for the Game On Expo, which is just fantastic. He like reposted that again recently. It's just like all those cool characters. It's just cool. Like when you watch someone do their drawing and they see like their little ticks and stuff when they draw and like how they look up and down. It's like it is kind of cool watching him do his stuff a little bit there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The process. And yeah, that speaking on that thing that he made at the like you said, the Game On Expo that we went to together, Drew. Sounds like he's going to be doing maybe not that, but some other version that, much like his first Crystal Star Fox Adventures painting, he'll probably be selling something here coming up soon. So.
I'll buy that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I will definitely buy that.
I didn't get a crystal painting, but yeah, that looked fantastic.
I wonder if he's still doing some more of his Salamando projects.
Yep. So him, and it sounds like the most exciting factor, because I'm kind of a, for lack of a better word, I'm kind of a geek when it comes to like your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, like Battletoads, like esque content. I love that like little like Battletoads esque Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Power Rangers team that they've sort of made, and I love the like music and concept around it. But it sounds like, again, the most exciting element for me recently is that Grant Kirkhope is actually collaborating with them now. So it sounds like Kevin Bayless and Grant Kirkhope have been working on some new tunes. And as a big fan of music, and especially from your orchestrated to multi-genre, but especially like Grant's origins in like metal to orchestrated music, I definitely can't wait to see what they do with it. And it's really cool. After the David Wise 5, it seems like Grant Kirkhope's working with Kevin Bayless and the guys directly working on some Salamando. So should be some stuff coming up.
Yeah, I mean, David Wise and Grant Kirkhope, like, if they're doing stuff to get, like, that's going to be crazy. Like, they're like two of my favorite video game composers ever. Yeah. So
I keep thinking, I have this dream scenario in my head that they're both working on the next Donkey Kong game. I don't know if they.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Drew, we've been talking about this on Drew knows, and I think you guys might have seen Kevin Bayless, another, just to bring this guy up who keeps messing with our brains.
He likes to tease people.
He tweeted something a few weeks ago though, where he said something DK is on the way, and it's like, what do you mean? Like, did you know that Returns HD was being worked on? Because you said it prior to that, but I don't.
Oh, that's right. I did see that. Yeah.
I still don't know what that means.
I don't know either, so it's hard to say, and because like I don't know. And then Grant Kirkhope was saying, that there's stuff I'm going to be doing this year that might pique your interest, and like I don't know, we haven't really seen like what new music he's done so far this year. The last thing we really know about in terms of his stuff he's composed, I believe, is Sparks of Hope. I think that was the last game that he worked on that we know about.
That was 2022 or 2023 or something.
23. And then DLC, I think, through that year. But but yeah,
he didn't do the Rayman. He didn't do the Rayman stuff, I don't think. That was somebody else. But
so he did some of the Rayman stuff, and then also Christoph Harrell, who is kind of the current, like your Rayman Origins, Rayman Legends composer. So kind of the current Raymans.
I got to give a shout out to that composer. I mean, I haven't played the new DLC or Sparks of Hope at all, but like, gosh, I love his music in Origins and Legends, just because like it's both like goofy and epic all at the same time. That's like somehow
they're awesome. Yeah.
And actually playing through that DLC kind of recently, a few months back. I think I might talk with Aiden a bit about it as well. But that Christoph Harrell, like to shout him out again as well. Like, dude, some of the music, like you would hear like the lums or the looms. Kind of like the the background and all this goofy sort of like the I forget the name of it, but the down like the like weird.
I love all of like the little references you put into those pieces.
Yes. Yeah, even some motifs, from like Origins and Legends, just kind of you hear them coming back. It's really cool. Yeah, definitely a good composer.
Oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and kind of speed through some things because we do need to get on to like the next question as part of our discussion here. Sardonic Pickle says he never knew about Yoko Replay, would prefer a new game. Prime 4 was his highlight. Sonicster, Mario and Luigi Brothership was the best reveal of the Direct. Brandon Kong mentioned Prime 4, Echoes of Wisdom, Stray, SMP Jamboree, Want Diddy Kong, and most importantly, Marvel. A few people mentioning Marvel, and then kind of maybe talk about Brandon's response. We haven't really talked about Echoes of Wisdom yet, which I think I am excited for, but I'm also slightly cautious about at the same time. I'm definitely getting it though.
Echoes of Wisdom.
I'm not in the same. I'm glad I'm in the same boat as you, Drew.
I would say I'm in the same boat to a point. I'm definitely to the sentiment of I'm going to buy this game. That's been sealed since the moment I actually saw the trailer started. But I'm a little wary of only the element of, and wouldn't even say wary, just see where they go with it as far as the open-ended solutions and playing as Zelda. So, and I kind of hope she has more spells. Like, the Echo concept is awesome, but I hope she is able to do some more spells, kind of like your Wand of Gamelon.
The sequel, we now have the true sequel. No, but I'm excited. I think it's an interesting concept. Like, I'm glad that they're finally, making a Zelda game where you just play as Zelda, because I thought they were gonna do that with Tears of the Kingdom. Like, I thought sure they were gonna like have something where you go back and forth. So it's nice to see that. The Echo concept is interesting. I do like what you guys were saying, like I do kind of wish she had kind of just a regular tag. Yeah. But it is, we'll have to just see how it goes, but like, it does look like an interesting concept, like the way you kind of just use objects to solve puzzles. I don't know. It's, seems like an interesting idea, but
totally. I will quickly say too, after you brought up Tears of the Kingdom, a lot of people thought maybe there would be a section, like maybe in the depths or in the other timeline that she went to or what have you. But I will say the beginning of that trailer looked like a direct mirror almost of like, hey, now Link's in the hole instead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it kind of did. Yeah, because the way he fell in the thing there. But
that's true.
I mean, okay, now with Echoes, like, like I was excited, but I kind of did looked at the gameplay, and I realized like it's just more the Echo gameplay, and I'm just wondering like, are we gonna get like some dungeon items or something to keep the game refresh?
That's something I wondered, is that with the echoes, if there's a particular item you find in a dungeon that you then echo, and if they did that, then there you go. That's really bringing in classic style dungeon design.
Yeah.
I think there will be like classic dungeons. I don't think they're gonna like do the Tears of the Kingdom thing and just get rid of them. But
yeah,
I mean, not get rid of them. Like the shrines are kind of dungeon-esque, and then they kind of brought them back, but like also they weren't exactly. I don't know.
In Tears of the Kingdom, that's true though. It was a step up from the Divine Beasts, but not quite our old dungeon structure.
Not quite.
I would assume that
they will.
Yeah, but one thing I just hope they don't do is try to do a Link Between Worlds scenario where no items are in the dungeons. You just have everything available and can go right.
Yeah.
I want like a good, legitimate reason other than just for the sake of completing the story. Like
that's I wonder how open-ended it's going to be, Josh. Like that's true. I didn't think about that.
From the gameplay though, it looked like there's a lot of fun things you can do with the echoes.
Oh, for sure.
Because I noticed there was like a little spinny. I noticed there's a little spinny top thing, and I realized that's like that spin top that hasn't been seen literally since Twilight Princess. And I was like, oh, okay, I could play around with that again.
Of course, I think that's like a blade trap from classic 2D Zelda 2.
Yeah, and I think the last time they were around was probably Link Between Worlds. I want to say.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and about that game, I just finished that game like the day before the direct, and when I saw that trailer. I thought they were going to remake Link Between Worlds, so I was like mad because I literally just beat it the day before. I was like, come on, but then no.
Hey, well, if
I saw it for a second. I was like, no, please, but
at least you know a direct comparison of how it would have been. But that's funny that you thought that in the trailer. I actually thought it might have been a remake of Link to the Past, just by seeing Ganondorf.
The Ganon design, I thought that too, but
Ganon.
But funnily enough, the overworld is basically a Link to the Past, but kind of reimagined a little bit.
Yeah, and one of the coolest things for me is that the castle, the people, the creatures, the species. There's a lot of elements of the Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask timeline, though, which is like one of my biggest selling points. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but there's like classic Gerudo Village. There's the Deku salesman from Majora's Mask. There are
the two different Zora.
Old Zoras. And part of me is wondering, like, what if they just threw Ritos in there and like further confuse everybody?
Yeah, I think at this point the timeline.
Yeah, I don't even know anymore.
There's a second, everyone. I gotta kill a pretty large spider that I'm seeing on the wall. Hold on a second.
Oh yeah, there's Skulltulas too. I think.
Oh god.
Yeah, there's Skulltulas
in real life now.
There's a few things in that game though, like the timeline seems sort of up in the air almost. But like Josh said, structure seems to be predominantly Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds, but with elements of like I said, the Hero timeline sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how it turns out.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I wonder if they're like because ever since the story that we discovered in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I'm wondering maybe they're ditching the whole Zelda structure lore that they've been building up for a while.
All right, I have neutralized the threat.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know if like they're still going to continue that and just kind of be like, whatever. Here's a Deku scrub. Here's some Doritos.
I did really like that in the trailer, showing all the different races and like the villages and themes are going to be bringing in. So that I'm looking forward to playing this game. And heck, it's like it's coming out September. It's like blink and it's here. I was like, whoa, that alone was a nice surprise.
Yeah, I thought that would have been way later on.
And Drew, when you say neutralize the threat, do you mean the threat of
the spider that was on my wall?
Okay.
Yeah, he had a literal spider on the wall. He was saying.
But yeah, it does seem though like EGA and Numa has sort of been advocating like, would you want to go back to like the way things were? So, it's definitely reassuring to see this style of Zelda, but I do think, and like we discussed just prior, there has to be some sort of progress system, whether it be, the dungeons or whatever. But I do, as we said before, wonder how open-ended this game is, if it's just solutions or if it's like the whole like order
Mhm.
of things in the game. Because we haven't really seen anything as far as progression or like dungeons that I saw yet. So I'm hoping that like dungeons like Josh brought up as like you can unlock like different things in different dungeons, and maybe the echo ability is just one dungeon. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that they're kind of branching out and trying these new ideas, like being able to play Zelda and all that. But I hope they don't stray, too far. Like I'm hoping we still get like traditional 2D Zelda and then like 3D Zelda. I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually what
Kind
I
of
was
go
touching
back
on.
to the original style. Yeah, but
That's the reassuring thing is it's like, okay, we do have our 2D and we do have our 3D still. So like those can
Yeah.
still come out alongside each other.
Yes, I'm just glad that there is a new 2D Zelda game, honestly, in the first place. Just the fact that that's still something that's important to them. Even if they are trying these new experimental things to like make it more open-ended, it still feels to me like it's going to be a bit more focused and classical than Tears of the Kingdom. Even just looking at the trailer, it looks like it's going to have a bit more of that classic Zelda feel, which I think you can't truly just replace.
I agree.
Yeah, I like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Like, obviously they're fantastic games, but I miss that, that traditional Zelda gameplay. So I'm hoping with the next 3D one, they can still have elements from Tears of the Kingdom, but I feel like they should, focus on more of the classic style.
Especially for the dungeons. I agree.
Yeah,
I
dungeons especially.
Yeah, I think what they should do is, if they were to make the next one open world, bring back items like hook shots and whatnot.
Not breakable items, like not breakable swords.
Yeah.
Have
Right.
Or maybe make it like Skyrim, where you can like just find all these different weapons that can't break though, but but make it more like classic Zelda, where you can just find all these items and use them to explore the world and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like just slowly building up your arsenal. Okay, going through the game.
Yeah.
Cool.
But Drew, I was going to say, I don't know where we are it seems as though we have a different order as far as the replies are presented to us.
Okay.
I do want to say quickly that we did read the Sonicster's answer already about Mario and Luigi Brothership, but that's one of the Sonicster is actually one of the Kongster club members or whatever for this newer like Donkey Kong fan group that is on Twitter that I'm in, and some of their reactions, I don't know if you guys saw it, but some of the guys in that Kongster group, like they reacted on YouTube, and it actually got some traction on Twitter where like they were just like screaming their heads off, and it almost looks like it's dubbing.
Oh, the Mario Luigi. Yeah, I saw. I don't know if that was the exact one, but then I saw somebody who was just losing their mind.
Yeah, one of
Like
the guys.
Speaking the mic. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, one of the guys in that group, he was like, "Oh, wow, this is me and my friends, or whatever." And I'll have to maybe send it to Drew later. And like,
the Sonicster mentioned, Mario and Luigi Brothership was the best reveal of the direct. Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I think I saw a post about their reaction. I'll have to take a look at that. Speeding through, we gotta get on to the next question, so I gotta kind of speed through some of these just really quick. Theo Ultima mentioned Expedition 33, Life is Strange 4, Mario and Luigi and Fantasian. West Coast mentioned, I wonder what the new levels are in DK. Just to answer that really quick, it's from the 3DS version, which I played, and then I don't really remember them, how they go, but it'll be nice to see them in the new HD version.
They are. Yep.
Milk Dud mentioned the Super Mario Party Jamboree and Yoko Replay. Puny Junie just mentioned getting hooked on the brothers. Yeah, Mario and Luigi coming back. Kes mentions Zelda, and Luca Nintendo mentions Donkey Kong Country Returns. And Sam, I have to ask you about this one post that I can't see because it's from a suspended account, and you replied with "Be serious, DK fanboy." I gotta know what that's about.
He did get suspended. He has another account. It's DK fanboy. People might know him in the DK community.
Oh, I know, yeah. I think I've seen him around.
But yeah, so he at first, and he's a big memer joker. So. And I ratioed him at first because everyone's like, we all know what your favorite announce fit is. But like he said something along the lines of like, the new Looney Tunes sports mix, baby, or something like that.
Heck yeah, let's go.
And then I think the latter answer when I said, be serious, DK Fanboy, he's like, just kidding. I mean the new Hello Kitty game.
Yeah, Hello Kitty Island, whatever. Looks great.
Yeah, I even said, joke's on you. That game doesn't look bad to me or my girlfriend.
Yeah, it
Hello Kitty
doesn't
Animal
actually.
Crossing.
That's kind of like
How about Hobbit Animal Crossing? Anybody gonna play that?
I don't know.
The Lord of the
more
Rings.
farming sim, that one.
I did want to mention
Was
this.
yeah.
I did want to mention, since no one has mentioned it here in the replies to there, I really think that one indie game, I think it's called OMI. I forgot what it's called. It's just
Oh yeah, the one with that like
Omni, yeah.
little robot thing with the
that looked amazing, and that looks like
Yeah.
I mean, like as far as like any indie games, that's definitely on my radar. I want to play that one. Looks fantastic.
It was like kind of like a Hollow Knight-esque thing. I don't like the gameplay. Kind of reminded me of that. Yeah,
And it looks like alchemy,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah.
looks
That's
really
true.
neat. Yeah.
Omni, yeah. And you know, they really limited what they showed in that reveal, but it's funny. I guess a lot of us being, you know, platformer centric people, that I guess it grabbed all of us a little bit. But like for me, I was like, that was the one I made a mental note of where I'm like, hey, that's an indie game that like I am very interested in. They just didn't show.
I like those
that
like Metroidvania style games
It
like
looks like
that.
it, but
platformer.
yeah, but again, they showed so little.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's cool to see it coming 2025 vaguely, I guess.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting that one. So moving on to our next one, how would you personally rank the recent Nintendo Direct? We did have a poll with 77 responses in it. Most common one was a B ranking. The second one was a A ranking, which is my personal opinion. Yeah, overall, people were pleased with this Direct. Sam, you did mention you'd say a B. Did you want to elaborate on that further?
And actually that poll is still going. I think it's going to be about the same result as now. It seems like most people are kind of agreeing with what kind of my sentiment is, that it kind of out of the range of grades I gave it. It kind of hits that B. Like it may not be like a perfect Direct, even though this is kind of a personal perspective for us, but it is definitely a really good and like satisfactory Direct. Like I think for me, I would definitely say, yeah, B. And I was really happy with a lot of it. Like I said, again, like my personal taste, but like there was a really good variety there for me to say, like, I'm happy for a lot of other fan bases, as I said before. Like, it seems like a lot of different people got like their little, like at least for different peaks of interest, like a lot of people got a little bit to service kind of like their interests, a lot of different camps. And as far as like old memories of like say like I wouldn't say a perfect Direct, but like really hype Directs from the past, as I said before, like the Switch reveal and into like the first ever Direct for the Switch specifically, like during the Switch reveal, just like I remember going back over and over and over and being like 3D Mario, 3D Sandbox Mario, like what is this, and like keep like going back over and over and over on that trailer just to like see the little bit of footage that they gave us, and then again with the first Switch Direct, just the way they presented Mario, like with New Donk City and like not showing any goofy characters, not showing Mario himself, showing like a T-Rex in the second one, like just not really knowing what the trailer is, and then just bam, it's a Mario game. Like I just think that those were really hype Directs, as well as obviously, as I think most of us in this discussion
June 2019.
June 2019.
Let's go.
National holiday for Banjo-Kazooie fans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I mean, they had, we just mentioned 3 in there too. I mean, they had like some pretty good stuff overall, but
yeah, so like I was gonna say, like they had some banger games in there. Like there was Luigi's Mansion 3, which was announced prior. They announced Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
At the end of that one.
oh
And
yeah,
then, of course, like Banjo and Kazooie and Smash Bros. It's one of the most insane announcements for me. And I look back to that. It's like, it's weird. I guess, like Drew said, it's like a national holiday. Like, I mean, heck, like
we take what we can get, but it was a big get. It was a big get.
but looking back, it was such a cool thing to see the reactions. Like, especially for me. I mean, I cried. I was sick later on. I
almost passed out.
I watched that trailer.
I
I watched that trailer dozens of times, like literally dozens.
Yeah.
So just like it was.
I still get chills watching it.
And then hearing that Greg Kirkhope was doing the music, I'm like, what? No way.
Yeah.
And they did that video afterwards, like Banjo Kazooie, we're home, and I was,
We're home. Yeah, he's just like,
exactly.
get it?
Yeah.
And he had to hold off on it. He said, like, they said, like, all right, you can't.
He
You
was
have to
trying
sign
so
this
hard.
thing. You have to sign this thing. You can't post this until after it's revealed. And then they like told him when it's okay. Did it like? I don't know.
And no
so
one's
cool.
trusted him ever since.
He's like, don't be the next day. It's like, yeah.
And I will say, last
Crazy.
bit, I was going to say on past announcements that were good. Nintendo, not exclusively, but just like personally, the 2015 E3 in general. Like back then, we had the announcement of like Yooka-Laylee. Breath of the Wild was like being shown like in like full-fledged, like kind of at least what it was going to be like. Like I said, Yooka-Laylee. And like Rare Replay, Sea of Thieves, that might be more on like the Xbox gamer end of things. But like I was so hyped during the 2015 E3 as well. Like that was also.
I think that was the one they also had like the robot chicken and the Muppet skit, I think.
You mean
Oh,
where's Mother 3?
Yeah, I love that. So that was not a good era. Some of the games coming out, I don't know, but like, I guess it was more 2016 was more like the, you know, the Wii U, whatever you want to call it, with the Ultra Smash.
I will say
Yeah,
that
that direct was
I
funny.
do miss that theming a little bit. Like I do miss when they would get
Yeah.
like studios or like Robot Chicken.
I wish
or,
it would get wacky and I don't know, because like the Wii U commercials were they were bad. Like that kind of marketing, that was like kind of bad. But I don't know, the stuff in the direct was genuinely funny. Like some of the skits they were doing.
I heard
Yeah.
the Mario Kart 8 commercials that they did. You guys, you know how funny those were, right?
I don't
What was that?
recall.
Okay, so when they did the original Mario Kart 8 commercials for the Wii U, you know, they were done so hilariously that even the folks in the offices of Nintendo Japan were laughing at those commercials.
I don't remember those.
Yeah, I can't remember myself, but I'll have to look it up. But
Oh.
I know, like Aiden was saying, like I don't know how much it was, but like to get Henson, to get Robot Chicken, to get
Yeah,
it probably was a decent amount of money. Like I will say, I miss theming just as I miss the theming and the home screen UI as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it must have been
yeah.
pretty heavy on the budget for the presentations. And this cleaner, for lack of a better word, cleaner, more direct is
Yeah.
definitely
Literally,
a good format.
It's a good format. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just hoping like the next console they kind of bring back some of that, you know, like some themes and stuff. Like just bring back some of the wackier UI elements. I don't know.
That would be great.
You know,
Even the 3DS had that, but
Like I remember hearing people talk about this on Twitter, where they were like, "Why do people care about themes so much? Okay, they're not really needed." And at that point, like, yes, you're right. Like they aren't really needed, but it has that Nintendo charm, that customization,
Exactly.
and that memorable.
Do you guys
music.
remember when like Wario took over their Twitter?
Oh yes, that was so funny.
Twitter stinks. I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
I love how that's like been become a meme in of itself. Or like
I love that.
Yeah,
There was one with Cranky too, where I can't remember what it said. But,
Or like he
they're,
said, I
something-
memed or something like that.
Yeah, that's something like that. But yeah, having like that goofy stuff. I mean, they'll do little tiny things like they'll wear hats and stuff or make a little joke. But yeah, a little more of that. I love what they do with the presentations, but it could go for more theming and all of that for sure.
It really could.
Definitely was funny.
I'm gonna go ahead and go over kind of my thoughts on it. I'm definitely like an A person myself, just because like I do love Mario RPGs. So Mario and Luigi was definitely a big highlight for me. The return to 2D Zelda, Prime 4, and then in between all those like little things. I mean, like I didn't like. There was a lot of stuff I didn't really care about, but there was like such a good number of things I really did. So that's why I did as an A. I mean, there wasn't anything as like huge bombshells to me personally, like say like, you know, Banjo-Kazooie and Smash or Super Mario RPG last year that like started all this renaissance going on, you know, that was like those are really big ones. But just as an overall presentation, that number of good quality announcements in the Switches last year, that's just crazy.
Oh yes,
Definitely. Yeah, this was. I'm just really quickly. I don't know if we can pull it up on screen. I think we missed it. But Chris Cross, did we actually read his answer on the last question? It was the only one I bookmarked to check.
I think. Hold on. I think I I'm not sure if we got one over his or not, but
don't
I'm going to go ahead and
remember.
I'll pull
Yeah.
it back up really quick here. Like crisscross.
And I'll just discuss
Yes.
it while you look for it.
The new Mario and
But,
Luigi, that's pretty much it. Everything else was just to me.
Yeah, so as
I
Drew was
mean,
saying,
yeah.
some of these people, even if it wasn't me personally, knowing and hearing through private DM and group DMs and group chats and such, hearing that these people, like that some of the games that maybe didn't hit, like as Drew said again, didn't hit for me as much were like mind blowers for other people. I don't know, it's just a really cool thing. Like I love seeing other fan bases, especially
That's
people
what it's
I
all
respect,
about.
yeah, and like Chris Cross, I mean, you guys all know him on Twitter and stuff, Jinja360 or whatever. But like, he loves those Mario RPG things, and like seeing people lose their mind over this, it's just, even if it doesn't hit my niche, it's so cool and heartwarming to see people's like positive reactions to it. And yeah, just love that stuff.
It's always a good thing to see people very happy and excited, especially for like say like a long dead series making a comeback. Kind of like with the Banjo-Kazooie reveals. Like we all lost it because we haven't seen Banjo in so long, and everyone was celebrating. Even people that weren't Banjo fans were celebrating for those people too. It was awesome. So it's nice to see like just having all these fan bases just being excited generally for a lot of these announcements.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of good. It was good seeing like all the excitement in general about this direct for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll go back to the other question now, the other question. But I will say, like, honestly, regarding like those other fan bases too, it's just really cool. Like I said already, to see this variety. Like I just, I don't know. It's obviously, as Drew said, I think the mind blowers for most people is like, say, and I believe that Mario and Luigi was gone for, I think people have said 9 years, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the mind blowers culprits, especially for us, being able to relate on a few of the mind blowers of the past, like Banjo-Kazooie and Smash Brothers. But I think the big mind blowers for most people are like something that you are assured is good, or a remake, or like I don't want to say remake every time, but something you're assured is like such a massive fan base or has such a passionate thing, or again, like a remake, something you know is good, I think is the ones that like get fans to like have their mind blown. Because I would borderline say that the 2D Zelda did kind of blow my mind personally. But if it was like, say, a package of like Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask remade or something, that would make it be like official massive mind blower like reveal. Like say
Wind Waker Twilight Princess. That's what I was hoping.
Yeah, I mean, you guys brought that up earlier too. I think I don't have it to us recording, but like, I still wonder if we'll ever see those, or those will ever see the light of day.
They're waiting to do a 4K. They're waiting to do a 4K edition because they've already done HD.
It might be an early game for the next console. I don't know.
I would hope so. I would hope it's being held for a rainy day to fill in. Like maybe they already have knowing Nintendo, they probably already have a whole schedule planned. They already delayed the hardware. They're sort of getting, as we discussed, most likely a cross-generation title like Metroid Prime 4. I think they're kind of ramping up for that. And who knows, maybe some of the more remakes, I think, will probably come along to fill in some time gaps, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably sitting on a bunch of, like, I think I've seen that before where somebody was saying, like, these remakes are, like, done. They're just, like, sitting on them, like, trying to time them certain ways. So,
like, the one thing that I am, like, concerned with, though, is that, like, since they're putting in all this effort for these remakes, ports, and all that, like, are we going to get a cross-compatible Switch 2? Where everything we buy on the original Switch can be carried over to this Switch 2 console. Right?
Yeah, we haven't talked about that much, but, like, in a prior, I think the very last prior Kooky Questions episode, in one of the questions, it was like, what are your hopes, or what are you looking forward to? What are your expectations for the next Switch hardware? And like, I think one of the main answers Drew and I got back was like backwards compatibility.
It's
like,
essential.
It's got to be there. It has to be. If it's not, it's just like there's no way it won't happen. Like with the sales of the Switch, and like they'd be stupid not to.
It would be.
Yeah. I feel like abandoning that size of a user base, the biggest user base they've ever had, would be silly.
I mean,
it's going to be cartridge based again. I think it's going to be like a 3DS situation where you can still play Switch games, but the new ones are going to have some kind of little thing on it that you can't fit it in an original Switch. That's what I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be
Like,
shaped slightly different.
Yeah.
I just hope like, the legacy is still like contained, okay? Because like I mean, I know like when we went from Wii U to Switch, it was obvious because like they needed to change the console structure, okay, so that way we're not having a secondary screen component there, and that's why Switch started off as a refresh or restart there, and now I'm just hoping that they're just gonna now, since it's now successful, just continue that success and that legacy with the next console with all its libraries available right at the get-go.
Yeah, I will briefly touch on the fact of like what Josh just brought up about the second screen. And also relevant to the discussion regarding like I almost said Tropical Freeze, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, like that having that map screen accessible like the whole time you're playing was actually really nice in my opinion.
Yeah, that was great.
And I was just playing, just a little bit of. I only played a teeny bit earlier today, and I played like Wind Waker HD, and I just love dragging the item to like the button assignment and not having to pause it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it does help me out a lot whenever I'm sailing on the seas, and then I have to like get to the X marks the spot without having to go into the menu in and out all the time.
Oh wow! Oh gosh, so that pausing, move a little, pause, move a little. Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
And did they have? Forgive my knowledge. I should know this. I own both, but did they do that in the 3DS remake of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask? Did they have it constantly accessible, or did you still have to pause?
Yeah. No. There's the bottom screen is just a map. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think your items and everything.
They just like put everything, like all the UI HUDs and whatnot, on the bottom screen, so you can see the majority of the top screen and the gameplay and all that.
But part of me almost thinks, like, I don't know what the upcoming inevitable extra, for lack of a better word, and it's not demeaning, I promise, the gimmick that they're coming up with, whatever it is. Because there's been a lot of, like, talk about little features, magnetic Joy-Cons, a second flip screen, maybe, and this is a tinfoil hat, but maybe they're sort of waiting for this second screen thing, because I know the one thing that would be lost in the port to the Switch is that functionality of a second screen. So I can't help but wonder what it will be like on the Switch 2.
A second screen honestly is a great thing. You can do a lot of gameplay things with. Just Bowser's Inside Story is an excellent example.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking it's going to be like, I don't know, it'll be detachable somehow. Like you can have like two screens, like a 3DS type thing, and when you put it in the dock, you'll have a second screen like the Wii U.
Ooh.
I think it'll be like a combination of Wii U and 3DS.
One rumored name of the console is the Switch Attach, which honestly I don't know if there's any truthiness to that or not, but it sounds like that would fit along with that.
Yeah, the other one I heard was Swivel, which I still don't know. Arlo touched upon this, and even he's like at a loss. He started talking
I don't know about Swivel. Attach, maybe, but
I don't even know what that would imply.
Like the screen can like rotate. I don't know. Like it can.
Maybe go watch the Arlo. It's from a few months ago, but like I don't know. My theory. I don't know. I'm not going to touch on the swivel thing, but like Aiden had said, maybe there's an ability to play with a screen like the game or like the gamepad on the Wii U, but to still play in a docked sort of functionality. Like I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. It's going to be kind of like a hybrid. Still going to be a home console handheld type thing, but it's going to have, I don't know, elements from the Wii U where you can still have that, like we were saying with Wind Waker, or like if they make a new Zelda, whatever, you can have that like map screen on the bottom and still play on the TV, but it would actually be portable. Like, because the Wii U, that was the one downside with it, is you could take it like 3 feet away and it starts.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lose a connection. Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay.
I just hope that they don't continue the Switch name, though, because that was the problem that the Wii U suffered from. It continued the Wii name, and customers got confused on whether this was for...
I feel like they're going to, though, don't you think?
I mean, because PlayStation 2, I mean, the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, I mean, that works for them, obviously, but but I don't know. It just has to be something that they have to do it in a way where it's they have to make it very clear that this is a new system. You know, that you can.
Yeah, the problem with the Wii U is everybody thought the gamepad was just an accessory for the Wii.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like the new console didn't look that much different from regular Wii.
No.
So
The reveal of the gamepad almost, I'm going to be honest with you, I remember when it came out, I was like, oh, it's a gamepad that you can attach to upgrade your Wii or something. Like, I literally
yeah, like the marketing was just not, yeah. And I think the Switch name is like, I don't know. I feel like it's not going to even, they'll use the Switch name, but it's not, I don't think it's going to be like a Wii U situation again. I think it's like established enough now that they can build on it and people won't get confused. I don't know. But
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like Drew said, like the PlayStation or like Xbox situation, it's like, I
Yeah.
mean, they
Xbox is weird though. Like, it's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
Xbox
Yeah, they have a
One.
weird-
Their third console is
Yeah.
called Xbox One. I mean, that's just...
We have the Xbox One launch edition, the Xbox One standard edition, the Xbox One S. We have the Xbox One X. We have the Xbox Series S. We have the Xbox Series X. It's like, good Lord in heaven.
that's
why?
terrible. Yeah, no. That's the way to do it. Yeah.
PlayStation has it so easy. It has it so easy.
No,
Just
hey,
add a number, you're good to go.
Yeah, but wait until they throw a curveball and then it's in Roman numeral numbers.
PlayStation what? It's just like, yeah.
PlayStation.
Are we on the second question again there, Drew?
Yeah, so I was going to say, like, we need to go and go over some more responses here. Gothic Teddy Bear mentioned it's a pretty satisfactory direct. Obviously, he has a bit of a bias since we're getting Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. He thinks we could have had more rare NSO titles. It's very likely Nintendo Rare title is a possibility now, except I don't know about Conker's Bad Fur Day. I honestly, even though there's an M-rated section, I don't know if that would happen either myself.
Yeah,
I thought it was actually, like when I saw that, I was like,
Me too.
oh
Me too.
man, it's coming. I still
No,
think
me
it could
too.
happen. I don't know.
I think it could happen too, but I've heard as far as emulation, and this actually goes the same for DK64. I've heard it's hard to emulate some of those late gen N64 kind of games. Like I know I've heard DK64, it's tough, but I heard the same with Perfect Dark and Conquer. So, and we have Perfect
Yeah.
Dark, and that was an
Well,
expansion.
they had DK64 on Wii U anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Like they've done it before. I don't.
I heard Harvest Moon 64 was hard to emulate for the original Wii, but then they brought that to Wii U, and they also brought that to Switch. So I think it's still possible that we'll still get some of those games come to the NSO service at some point.
I'm
I
hoping
think
for
so,
some
too.
more too. I really, again, having just finished a Banjo-Tooie playthrough, I want Banjo-Tooie on NSO now, and we have the
I know.
the Xbox version is nice. It's a good version of the game, but I
He's
feel
gonna
like
say controls.
I feel it's controls. It's something is lost with the Xbox version that like mainly with the controls. I love the better frame rate. Believe me, I appreciate it. You're literally counting frames sometimes.
Yeah, it's rough.
In Banjo-Tooie, and so we need the NSO version just
Yeah.
even for that, but we also need the original controls. So I really want an NSO version of that game, and it'd be great for speedrunners too.
I just wanted an
I'm surprised they haven't added it.
you guys in multiplayer.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
we're going to be playing bird matches for sure.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
and Monkey.
Yeah, no, I'm
Smash,
surprised
Lord willing.
Dewey has not shown up yet. Like I thought that would have been, and like Diddy Kong Racing. I know there's like some legal stuff there, but like I don't know. I feel like they do it.
Well, the legal
Okay.
stuff is just rare, typically, and I gotta be honest, as usual, just being like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's all about timing. I mean, if you notice back with this recent Nintendo Direct,
Perfect
Okay.
Direct or Perfect Dark.
yeah, like Xbox revealed the gameplay for Perfect Dark. We got
Mhm.
Perfect Dark on NSO. Okay.
Yeah.
We just also got a new Zelda game, and what came out on NSO, A Link to the Past 4 Swords. Okay. Metroid Prime 4 got revealed, and we also got Zero Mission.
That's
Yes.
true.
So I
They do
think,
like to do that.
yeah, so I think that maybe they're holding off a lot of these other games like DK64, like Banjo-Tooie, like Diddy Kong Racing. They're holding them off, and maybe either for like some upcoming game, or maybe just to help give the service more value and hype it up, and just being like, hey, we all know you want these games, but just give us a little bit more time or something.
They're probably trying to drag it out till the
Yeah.
next
It's like-
console at this point.
That definitely could be. I was going to mention that about like it is a perfect time. Like he mentioned, like Josh mentioned, timing. It couldn't have been a better time to be like, "Hey, Perfect Dark, like remember that?" Because there's just been an Xbox reveal of a new one. You guys probably all want to play
That's
the
true.
old one, right?
Yeah.
So that's and maybe even DK64. But Drew had a theory we discussed about how like maybe there's a remake because like a lot of people were asking for Mario RPG, and that just so happened to be held off on and had a remake. So I mean.
Yeah.
Obviously,
True.
another tinfoil thing, but like, yeah, timing is
I would-
definitely.
DK64 getting a remake would be nothing short of legendary, just because it's got so much charm and personality already in it.
Oh yeah.
And if you recreate that, it might be hard to recreate it, but like it's honestly a game that could be improved. You know, if you made a new version of it, and there's so many ways you can make a good game like even better.
Yeah, kind of like like just make it like Yuko replay, just like
Mhm.
just take those aspects that probably weren't working out and just rework it and make it better.
I would say make it like Yuka Replayly, but I mean, I'm not gonna go backwards and like be like the trailer sucked. But like, look, they showed some good stuff. They showed some good bullet points what they're gonna add. But we saw Shipwreck Creek, guys. Like that's what we saw.
We saw, and that alone looked really cool. It's just
Great.
I think
It looks great. Yeah.
I'm going to point out. I love the joke. I love the name of the ship, the bat ship crazy. I love that.
That's
Now,
great. Yeah.
I've always
there's
loved
another
it.
string of games that I'm still waiting to hear of that come to the NSO that haven't arrived yet, and that is Rare's portable games for the Game Boy Color
Yes.
and Game Boy Advance. And
Yeah.
I'd love to play Conquer. I'd love to play Grunty's Revenge. Yeah, I've never played any of those.
If you play Grunty's Revenge with a standard controller, it would feel like you're just playing Banjo-Kazooie on N64, but on Game Boy Advance. And like I played it on, I had the cartridge with the my GameCube GB player.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It plays so well with a GameCube controller.
Damn, I bet I've never seen that firsthand. That's got to be awesome.
That's an underrated game. More people should play that. It's a good one.
It's not as good as a N64 games though, but it's still a good time though. Like I do highly recommend getting that game a try.
Yeah, no, the way they did everything,
feeling that you love, but on board, they did it so well.
Yeah, they adapted everything really well.
They sure did.
Yeah, I think that game's pretty good too. And Jamie Hughes did a really good job of giving his own little spin on like the Grant Kirkhope sort of tune sound. Like I thought it was pretty good. There's some good songs in there.
Yeah, no, the soundtrack's great in that too. Yeah.
And people have remixed them on YouTube to use the N64 sound font, which actually is really awesome.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. Cool. I'm not familiar with the game at all. Never listened to the music or anything. I might have to. I hope to be able to play it someday. Chris Botker did mention, I'd say 7 or 8 out of 10, which is a B. We got the games for the big three: Mario, Zelda, or Metroid, and DKC. What holds its back? It's probably neither the Mario or Zelda are the next mainline game. Zelda is a mainline game. It's just the 2D mainline game. I would say.
It's just doing something different, but I think I would still count it. I wouldn't say it's a spin-off necessarily.
Yeah, it's still a mainline Zelda game. It has the Legend of Zelda and the subtitle. So, and Jay Waldemans mentioned, be better than he expected. For probably farewell direct to the Switch, we had some amazing drops, which shows Nintendo wants to end the Switch in a bang. Yeah, I agree with that. It's amazing that they're giving us this much still. In the 8th year of the system.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, personally, I gave it an A just because of that reason. Like, I mean, there were some things I was kind of like, all right, like the Hello Kitty, I don't know, but like those random like farm games they always throw in there, I don't know, but like, so not everything was like amazing to me, but like the stuff that was like the highlights, I'm a big Mario, Zelda, DK, like I love all those franchises, so it kind of had a little bit of everything, and yeah, like you said, like for it being the end of the Switch's life, like we're still getting some really good stuff. So
we really are. Josh mentioned that he would have given an A, but Funko Pops dropped it to a B. Yeah, Funko Pops. It did
You
look.
guys seen my
That's
reaction video to the direct? Like the moment they showed the Funko Pops, my face went from a smiling face to a disgusted face. I was
It
just
looks.
like,
It looks
no.
so. Just graphically alone, it looks
It
so
looks like a Lego
poor.
game, like Lego. If it's like Funko Pop, like the gameplay reminds me like a Lego game,
Ugh.
where it's like,
I hate to
But
say it, guys.
Funko.
That game's gonna do so well.
oh, it
Oh,
will, yeah.
No.
It's Funko, and it's like crossing over all these franchises. Yeah, it's
Oh
gonna,
yeah, and imagine how
It'll do well.
expensive the budget was just for the licensing of that.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Like,
hey, now we got Freddy Fazbear and Marty McFly. Okay,
No way.
Chucky getting all together and fighting whatever.
Crossover the century.
Josh, I'm just going to
they
mention
all
something really quick. Did you ever? I don't know if you watched much of Homesterunner.com back in the day, but you sound like the Vidalectrix graphics guy.
You may have to pull up an image
Or something.
Video.
And there's-
Yeah.
There's a
Like
part
that.
where like developer is going on and on about like good graphics and like I'll just show it to you. Like,
More graphics.
yes, exactly.
Okay, I've
Cool.
never seen Homestar Runner, so I kind of winged it right there. But I'm glad I kind of winged it for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's a compliment because like as soon as Drew started saying Homestar Runner, I already knew exactly where he was going with it.
And these
Yes.
graphics are so snazzy.
But no, there's a really funny thing in there where a guy goes on a whole tirade about like to a co-developer about how you need good graphics and telling him like all the graphics are bad. And I might pull it up a link so I can just show you guys. It's so funny. We'll do that at the end, after we're done here. But it's Jiggy Lookback did mention here solid B+ direct, had some heavy hitters like Prime 4, but heavily saturated with RPGs and not a fan of one style of game being noticeably prominent in directs. Last time it was farm simulators. There were a lot of RPGs in this direct. There was a lot of those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but then
that's
we
true.
got an RPG and a farm simulator. Okay, I don't think I can handle those many genres in one game, man.
Gosh, yeah, that one it was like farming, like you were growing foxes, like, and it was like
I don't know,
Pokemon
yeah.
kind of too, and it was like, what kind of a game
There was
is
some
this?
interesting stuff.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
a Monster Rancher Spore type farming simulator type RPG combat. That was an interesting one for sure. I think it
Yes.
was literally called like Farmagia, something like
Mhm.
that.
The one
But,
RPG that I am looking forward to, and it was a game from the company that made Danganronpa and Master Code or Rainbow
Oh, yeah.
Master Detectives, the 100-line Last Defense Academy. I am kind of interested in that, but only because I played Rain Code. So I'm gonna wait and see more information on that as it comes out next year. It says so. Wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, see, Danganronpa, I only know a little bit. It's been some interesting plot, but like, I don't understand. What is the obsession of those developers and like a crime mystery thing or like a war that happens to take place every time in a school or an academy or like a college? It's always a school. And like, just briefly before I pass it on, I do, since we were reading his question, I do want to make a little shout out to Jiggy Lookback. His channel is really good. I'm sure
Yes.
you guys have probably
Yeah.
seen his
Oh
content.
I watched
And,
a lot of his videos. That's good stuff.
Yeah, he's really growing recently, and like a lot of his mysteries videos and stuff. He's a really good content creator, and I definitely check him out for anyone that's watching.
Yeah,
He is amazing.
he is.
Definitely.
Pretty cool crocodile here. It just says for everything, honestly, A, for DKB, not gonna lie. Yeah, it was nice to get a little bit of DK something, but it wasn't, of course, like new DK game like we're looking for. But again, I think if they're going to make a new DK game, make a really good one for the successor to the Switch. You know, just try to make
it'll be
something
nice.
amazing for us.
But here's the big question. Do we make it another 2D game, or do we try to go back to 3D route?
Nobody knows.
I think,
I'm hoping it's like a combination of both. Like it has elements of both.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
I mean,
even a little bit of Crash Bandicoot core style, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because that's what it was originally going to be before DK64.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was shaping up to be. Was like still linear level, but in a 3D environment. But I don't know.
Do you guys think that would be cool? I mean, it might be cool to see. That's the only take I'm wary on is like a 2.5D platformer, because like Aiden said, and we've talked about this before. I think Drew is DK64 was meant to be that sort of 2.5D camera style, and there's remnants of that on the fixed camera at the beginning, like the very beginning of Jungle Jade is the only bit that didn't really get scrapped. If you guys know what I'm talking about, it's where you kind of jump on the first initial vines of the level and then hit a switch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Other than that, it's kind of just a lost concept. But yeah, I don't know. I could be cool. And part of me thinks that like it's hard with Nintendo, and we always talk about this. It's hard with Nintendo to predict anything. Like we can pretend like we're being logical, we can pretend like we're looking through the experience and history of what they've done, but like they're
They don't
really
follow
wild
logic.
cards. Yeah, it's like. I mean, I could easily say, well, you know, they re-released Tropical Freeze and they re-released Returns because obviously they're doing a country game, and like the country park, it's a country game. Or I mean, I could easily say, yeah, you know, Bowser's Fury came out, so like they're gonna do a 3D open world thing. But I don't know. I have no idea.
It's impossible to
Bowser's
predict
Fury-
Nintendo
Donkey
sometimes.
Kong. They should make Bowser's Fury, but Donkey Kong.
Though,
That's what I think.
Where do we think they're gonna go with Mario at the time being?
I'm just hoping for big
Same
3D open world.
I
Like,
think
like just
Make
Mario
DK like that.
of Bowser's Fury, just like having that open aspect, but just greatly expanding upon that, basically.
I liked
yeah, I
how-
think that's
Yeah. I did like with Bowser's Fury how you had both like the openness of it, but you also had the courses in that with the focused, tight gameplay that you can do both, and they succeeded at doing both in that game.
Yes.
I think that's where it's headed. The next 3D Mario game. I mean, DK could also. I think that would fit well with DK too, though.
Yeah, because those
gameplay style.
freedom like concept scrap rumors and like almost.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of beyond rumors now. They almost like there was a concept there, and like
Yeah.
the rumor is more so if Nintendo EPD is like doing anything with said concept, but I guess that remains to be seen.
And one last response
I
here
hope
from Rod G. Just B, mainly for a new Mario and Luigi game. Also interested in Donkey Kong Country Returns HD as well. A lot of people mention the Donkey Kong just because it's good to just have a Donkey Kong something. And I realized we didn't. I think that pretty much rounds up everything. I can't really think of much else to talk about with all of our direct discussion here, unless you guys had any other closing thoughts you wanted to part us with.
I mean,
I'm
that's
glad
about it
that
for me.
Donkey Kong and crew have fur.
I think I just say that. I think you're gonna be very pleased, Josh. But yeah, I will say like, and Aiden, really quick, did you say you would give it an A or an 8?
An 8? Wait, no, I said A.
Okay, I thought you said A. Like, and I was gonna say I was really surprised at how many people consider it like the best direct or like a perfect format of a direct. Like, in the poll there.
I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's the best for like how far we are, which is lifespan. I think
No, I'd agree, and I'd say it's definitely. I think it's kind of safe to say, honestly, at least in my opinion, it is one of the best thus far. But yeah, seeing the reception on that poll there is definitely cool. I think like we can all agree. I think that good satisfactory level is kind of like where we're all at. Like and obviously some people deviate from that, but like I think Nintendo is in a really, really good position here moving forward. Not only ending the Switch and moving into the Switch 2, but kind of just like strengthening the like need almost for like, or the potential for people in games like Metroid Prime 4 to carry on to the next hardware. Like, I'm really excited, actually, guys. Like, I think this is the most excited I've been for Nintendo hardware since hearing about the NX. So,
oh yeah.
This is a great time to be a Nintendo fan. Both though we get really good stuff for the Switch, and like probably hopefully later this year, or maybe at latest early into next year, we will finally know about the Switch 2, and we'll definitely have much more to say about it once we finally see the new system there. Good directs, everyone. Aiden or Josh, you have anything else you want to say before we wrap up here?
I mean, I have a Twitter account. I have a YouTube account. Go check it out. I post about Banjo sometimes, and I'm gonna try to continue my Let's Plays of Conquer and Mario Galaxy. So Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
Yep. I'm trying to work on my YouTube channel. I'm still trying to get my feet wet there, trying to make some new content with that. But I've been working with some of my friends on other stuff like Let's Plays with our channel Go Go Mayhem Brothers.
I've checked that out too. It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, like lots of fun to be had there. Like right now we're doing Skyward Sword, and then hopefully once one of our friends can get back with us, continue playing some more Mario Party 3 and whatnot. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, especially since now that we got another game coming out, Super Mario Party Jamboree. Hoping to play that with the channel right at launch, probably.
That game does look good. It does. We haven't even talked about that. That does look like a good Mario Party game.
For that.
Yep, I like that game, and I like the board. I am glad that we got 7 this time instead of the usual 4 or 5.
Yeah, and I will say too, Milk Dud actually brought that up in one of the answers too. We didn't talk too much about Jamboree. The name kind of cracks me up a little bit too. Like, what's next?
I'm not a fan of the name. I don't know.
Super Mario. This is in before. I know, Aiden, but like this isn't before Super Mario Party Shindig or like Super Mario Party like Hoop and Hanny or something.
Hoopla. Yeah, they could just keep going.
They could.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but is Jamboree a word in Europe?
I don't know.
Yeah, because
It's a word in
Probably.
I think
It's a word with
someone
a punchy
said
bone.
that it's not a word, so they're going to have to change it in the European version. I'm not sure.
I think the Country Bear community would be very offended if that were the case. But I will say, the game looks really cool, and I'm really glad to see Western Land up here. Or
Yep.
I think it's called Western Land. But yeah, it looks super awesome.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite words.
It does.
So, and you know what? We've talked about this prior. We might eventually do something like this in more of like a Mario Party thing. I know me and Drew talked about different ideas of like gameplay amongst the group, so we'll see what happens in the future. Like,
Yeah.
definitely something.
It'd be a fun one, yeah.
Sure.
That would be a lot of fun. Guys, it's been so much fun. It's been really great to hear from all of you, and also, of course, all of you who responded over on Twitter. Thank you so much for answering questions and giving us some great things to talk about. If you haven't already, be sure to go ahead, drop a like on this video, subscribe to this channel. We are, I believe, as of the time of this recording, just 3 away from 1,300. Just thank you all for the support there. But we'll definitely have more to talk about in the future. Stay posted for more episodes of Kooky Questions, and you all have an excellent and amazing day. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Yep.